Hey, what's going on, guys? Kitsune TCG here, back with another video, and today I thought I would do a kind of like showcase on what I think for the Radiant Typhoon deck. Now this is just kind of a pure version with a whole bunch I think for the deck overall, and kind of go from there. So do obviously have the 3 Crocea, the 3 Swin, 3 Eldam, the 2 Meghala. Now I have seen a bunch of people do one of this, and I think that is totally fine. I'm playing a 41 card list. You could easily take one out and go down to 40, but I do just kind of like having the second one there. It's not the easiest deck to put up 8k damage, so I think having access to nice, but yeah, I do like having the second copy in there. Do have the Great Flame and the Vortex for the kind of big Radiant Typhoon. I do have 2 or 3 Fulos, the 3 Ash. I just have 2 of the Twin Tempests. I think 2 is totally fine. You can play a third copy stuck in your hand with more than 2, so I just kind of like having that here. Do have the 3 MST, the 3 Chant, as well as the 3 Vision, and the 1 Ascendance. And then just kind of rounding it out, we have 3 Crown, 3 Droplet, 2 of the Fallen and Virtuous. Since we are just playing 2 Albion, I think this is the kind of correct number. Obviously, we can put the card back with mandates, so if we are needing to draw into any additional copies, we can definitely get that. I don't think playing more than 2 is required. And then just finishing it out with Called By and Mandate for the main deck. Let me quickly go over the extra deck as well. And we've got that extra deck here, so I am running Super Poly in the side, so I do have a few Super Poly targets. We've got the 1 Mud Dragon, the 1 Garura, and Dragostapelia. And then we do have 2 Albion. I have 2 Totem Bird, which I do kind of like having 2 in here. Obviously, that second one could be something else, but I kind of like it for a little bit like more of a grind game. Have the 1 Cicada King. I think this is pretty great in a lot of matchups. You know, I think having the ability to choose between like a spell or monster negate is pretty good. Do have the Sky Crisis, SP Little Knight, Win, Great Fry, and Doom Eagle. So I do kind of like the extra deck here. I know there's like kind of a few different variants you can play of this deck, but I think I kind of like the spread so far. Obviously, if you're not playing a Super Poly, you have a little bit more kind of wiggle room to throw in some things, but since you do kind of get windlocked on a lot of your turns, I don't think there's a whole lot different to really play, but yeah, let me go ahead and quickly go over the side deck, and then we will do a test hand. Alrighty, and just kind of quickly going over the side deck here. I've got the 3 Parelia. I almost feel like I want to main deck these, but right now I've got it in the side deck, so that could definitely easily be swapped out for Fulos. I've got the 3 Lava Golem in here as just kind of like another option, you know, in case it's something that maybe don't really have the ability to Super Poly, but still need to do some monster removal, so I do kind of like Lava Golem in this deck. The 2-Dimensional Fissure. This is obviously great against a lot of matchups. It really kind of just shuts down Lunalight in a lot of instances, so I just kind of like having that in the deck. The 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. We've got obviously the 3 Super Poly, and then 3 Imperm as just kind of something else to bring in hand trap wise if I am going second. And yeah, so that's the kind of side deck there as well. I will go ahead and just do like a quick test hand to show off the deck. Yeah, and just kind of finishing shuffling up here and then show off like a test hand. I do think the deck is quite a little bit more straightforward of like a deck. You know, its combo lines I think are pretty similar, but there are kind of like a few things to like end on. and maybe things to consider depending on like what you've seen out of like your opponent's like side deck. This deck obviously has like a few ways to play through something like Nibiru, so it just kind of depends on what kind of hand that you have as far as kind of like what you're able to play through. So we've got a hand going first here for us, a pretty good one. So we have Eldham here. Obviously, if we're going first, then we can special summon Eldham, since our opponent would probably not control any spells or trap. Use him to get a monster. In this case, we want to grab Swin. We can go ahead and go Swin to grab either Chant or Vision. Obviously, if we wanted a draw, we could go something like Vision. For now, we will just go ahead and grab Chant. Now, Chant is obviously going to get us access to another kind of level 3 there. With these two, just because we don't really have a whole lot of access to Quicks plays, so we're not really going to get another chance to get Mandate on board, so we want to go ahead and link into it now. That will add, obviously, a MST for us on its summon. And then we can go ahead and go Chant. And in this case, we will add the Meghala. Since we did activate a quick play, we can go ahead and go the Link, and then we've got Crocea. And there's like a few things we can grab. Obviously, if we want to go into the Link, we could get something like the Abstinence, or we can even just get Visions. But I think to kind of ensure we're able to progress our plays, we can go ahead and grab this, and then the last MST wherever it's hiding there, and then we need to get the Mandate up. So obviously here are on our 4th summons. Really wasn't a way in this hand to kind of play around Nibiru. We can special out Meghala, activate Absence to grab back, doesn't really matter. Just grab back Swin, use its effect to grab our Monster Negate here. And we are obviously locked into wins at this point, so it doesn't really change very much for our extra deck. And we could either make the Totem Bird or the Cicada King, depending on if you know anything about like your matchup, whether or not like which one would be better. And then we do have, you know, just kind of 4 sack cards here. So overall, a pretty good deck. I do kind of like what it adds. I think Mandate's a really interesting card with being able to turn MST into a negate. So yeah, let me know down below what y'all think of the deck, and I will see y'all next time.